Hello, Stan. Today I am going to discuss a new chapter that is human reproduction, and we will discuss part 1 of this chapter, that is male reproductive system. First is reproduction. Reproduction is the ability of living organism to produce a new young ones of its own kind. So to produce new organism of its own kind, and this process or ability of living organism is called reproduction. This is one of the fundamental characteristics of a living organism. There are some importance of this reproduction. First one is to increase the population, and second important function of reproduction is continuity of species. A species continue to persist in the universe because of this reproduction. Next is human reproductive system. Human reproductive system consists of primary and secondary sex organs. Primary sex organ they are called gonads. They are directly involved in the production of gametes and reproductive hormones. So male gonad is called testes and female gonad is the ovary. Next reproductive system is the secondary sex organs. These secondary sex organs, they help in the process of reproduction, and they consist of reproductive ducts, and their function is to transport the gametes, and reproductive glands, they secrete some reproductive hormones. Now next is phases of embryonic development. The first phase is the gametogenesis. It means that formation of gametes. Formation of sperms in male is called spermatogenesis, and formation of ovum or egg in female is called oogenesis. Next step is insemination. Insemination is the transfer of sperms by male into female genital tract. So at the time of copulation, the male, with the help of penis or reproductive organ, they release the sperm in the female genital tract, and this process is called insemination. After that, fertilization occurs in the fallopian tube. It is the fusion of male and female gamete, and a zygote is formed. After formation of zygote, some mitotic division starts, and zygote undergoes mitotic division to form a bunch of cells which is known as blastocyst or blastula. This blastula from fallopian tube approaches or reaches the uterus, where attachment of blastocyst to the uterine wall of uterus takes place, and this attachment of blastocyst to the uterine wall is called implantation. Next is placentation. There is an intimate connection is formed between the fetus and uterine wall, between the mother and the fetus, and because of this placenta, the exchange of material takes place. Next is gastrulation. This blastocyst undergoes some changes, and there are three germ layers are formed. These three germ layers are ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. So this structure with the three germ layers is called gastrula, and formation of gastrula is called gastrulation. After that, differentiation in these three germ layers takes place, and these three germ layers, they form different types of tissues, organs, and organ system. So this step is called organogenesis, or formation of organ. When a complete fetus is developed inside the uterus, it is expelled out of the mother's body or uterus, and this step is called parturition. Now the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system develops and functions under the influence of hormones. The reproductive organs becomes functional only after attaining sexual maturity at the age of 13 to 14 years in males, and this age is called age of puberty. The male reproductive system consists of scrotum, a pair of testes. There are several ducts are present, for example, vasa efferentia, a pair of epididymis, a pair of vasa differentia, a pair of ejaculatory duct, and a urethra. There are some accessory glands are present like seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland. Next part of the male reproductive system is penis. First part of the male reproductive system is the scrotum. It is a muscular pouch made up of pigmented skin. It arises from the lower abdominal wall and hangs between the two legs. The testes develop inside the abdominal cavity, but during the 7th month of development, they descend inside the scrotal sac through inguinal canal. So earlier the testes developed inside the body, but after 7 months it comes out and present or descend inside the scrotal sac. This scrotum acts as a thermoregulator because it is present outside the body and it maintains the temperature 2 degree to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature. This low temperature is very important for the maturation and development of sperms. Next part is testes. In man and most of the animals, the testes are two oval bodies suspended in the scrotum, hanging from the lower wall of the abdomen, and it is present inside the scrotum. Testes are suspended in the scrotum by spermatic cord. The testes is surrounded by 3 coverings. Here, first one is the tunica vaginalis. It is the outer coelomic cavity filled with the coelomic fluid. Here you can see this is the tunica vaginalis. There are 2 separate layers present in tunica vaginalis. The layer which is close to the inner compartment is called the visceral layer, and the outer layer is the parietal layer. In between these 2 layers there is a space called cavity. This cavity is filled with a coelomic fluid. Next is tunica albuginea. This shown here in light blue color, all this part is the tunica albuginea. It is made up of fibrous covering and divide the testes into many lobules. So here you can see that there are many lobules are present. Here many lobules are present, and it is this inner compartment is divided by tunica albuginea, that is a fibrous layer. Next is the tunica vasculosa. Tunica vasculosa is a vascular supply or a blood vessels which are present around these lobules. This testis is divided into many smaller compartments called testicular lobules, and there are about 250 compartments are present or lobules are present inside each testis. Each testicular lobule contains highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Here in this figure you can see that these coiled tubules are the seminiferous tubules which are present inside the lobules. Each seminiferous tubules is surrounded by a germinal epithelium which further develop to form the sperms. In between the germ cells, some tall Sertoli cells are present. Here in this figure shown in red color, these are the Sertoli cells, and their function is to produce androgen binding protein and inhibin. Androgen binding protein concentrates the testosterone in the seminiferous tubule, means their function is to accumulate the testosterone inside the seminiferous tubule, and it helps in the maturation and development of sperms. Next one is the inhibin. It controls the secretion of FSH from the anterior pituitary gland. So it is involved in the feedback inhibition of FSH secretion. In between the seminiferous tubules, here, these smaller structure, this is seminiferous tubule. So in between these seminiferous tubules, there are some structures are present. They are known as Leydig cells or interstitial cells. Their function is to secrete male androgen, that is testosterone. Seminiferous tubules join to form a network of tubules called retitestes, and these retitestes join to form the vasa efferentia. Here you can see that these are the seminiferous tubules. They form a network of tubules. It is known as retitestes, and these retitestes then they rejoin to form the vasa efferentia. It is shown in red color. Next part of the male reproductive system is epididymis. Epididymis is long, narrow, highly coiled tubule which is formed by the union of its vasa efferentia. It is about 6 meters in length. Coiling of epididymis forms 3 parts. So this part shown in blue color is the epididymis. From here up to this point is the epididymis. It is divided into 3 parts. The first part, which is somewhat bigger in size, is known as head of epididymis or caput epididymis. The intermediate part is called the body of the epididymis or corpus epididymis. The tail of the epididymis is called the cauda epididymis. The function of epididymis is to store the sperms and nourishes the sperms. So sperms are stored here for some time, and their further maturation and development takes place inside the epididymis. Next part is the vasa differentia. From the cauda epididymis, vasa differences, they are emerges out, and there are 2 vasa differentia. They comes out of the scrotal sac, enters into the abdominal cavity through inguinal canal, and after entering into the abdominal cavity, they loops over the, here you can see that they loops over the urinary bladder and dilates to form the ampulla. So it moves in upward direction and it makes a loop around the ureter and then expand to form the ampulla. So this expanded form is the ampulla. This ampulla then joined to the duct of seminal vesicles. These green color glands are the seminal vesicles, and the ampulla, they join to the duct of seminal vesicles to form a common duct known as ejaculatory duct. So ejaculatory duct is formed when vasa differentia and the duct of seminal vesicles, they join to form a common duct. The vasa differentia carry the sperms from epididymis to ejaculatory duct. So it is a function of vasa differentia. They collect the sperms from the epididymis and transfer to the ejaculatory duct. Next is the ejaculatory duct. It is a short duct of 2 cm long and is formed by the joining of vas deferens and the duct of seminal vesicles. So here a small part which is formed by the joining of duct of vas deferens and duct of seminal vesicles. So a common duct is formed, and this part is called ejaculatory duct. They pass through the prostatic gland and join to the prostatic urethra to produce a single urogenital duct. So this ejaculatory duct combines with the urethra to form a urogenital tract. So urogenital duct is a common duct which is produced after the joining of ejaculatory duct as well as urethra. The function of ejaculatory duct is to here the sperm mix with the secretion of seminal vesicles. Next part is the urethra. It is a tubular duct which originates from the neck of the urinary bladder. So this one brown color structure is the urinary bladder. The duct which comes out of this is the urethra. It opens to the exterior at the tip of the penis, which is called penile meatus. Here, this is the opening of the penis. So urethra continues up to the tip of the penis. It is about 19 to 20 centimeter long, common pathway for both urine and semen. So it is a common passage. The urine as well as semen comes out of the penis through the same common passage. Urethra is differentiated into three parts. The part of the urethra which passes through the prostate gland is called prostatic urethra. The part of the urethra which is in between the penis and the prostate gland is called the membranous urethra, and the part of the urethra which is present inside the penis is called penile urethra. Next part is the penis. It is the erectile male copulatory organ. So it helps in the copulation or sexual intercourse, and its function is to deposit or release or inseminate the sperm inside the female genital tract. It is a long shaft, expanded sensitive tip known as glans of the penis. The tip of the penis is called glans. Glans is covered by a retractile foreskin known as prepuce. So there is a piece of skin present all over the glans, and that part or that skin is known as prepuce. In cross section of penis, we can say there are some erectile tissues are present. There are two dorsal corpora cavernosa and one ventral corpus spongiosum are present. So these are the erectile tissues. Here you can see that this one and this, there are two corpus cavernosa and one corpus spongiosum. So these are the erectile tissues are present. The urethra is present in between the corpus spongiosum. During the sexual arousal, the three bundles or erectile tissue, they get filled with blood and causes erection of the penis. So when these three tissues they fill with blood, erection of the penis takes place. The function of penis is to conduct urine and transfer semen into female reproductive tract during sexual intercourse. Next part is the male accessory glands. First one is the seminal vesicles. You can find the seminal vesicles in this figure. These yellowish green structures are the seminal vesicles. Their ducts are connected with the vasa deferens to form a common ejaculatory duct, and then the ejaculatory ducts join to the urethra. Seminal vesicles secrete some important substances like fructose, prostaglandins, clotting proteins. Fructose is a source of energy for the sperms. Prostaglandin stimulate the uterine contraction and thus help the sperms to be moved towards the female oviducts. There are some alkaline seminal fluids are also secreted, and their function is to neutralize the acidic environment of the male urethra as well as the female genital tract. Next gland is the prostate gland. Here in pinkish blue color structure is the prostate gland. It is a single large gland that surrounds the urethra. It is present just below the urinary bladder. They secrete a milky, slightly alkaline secretion which contains citric acid. It's a sperm nutrition. There are some enzymes like acid, phosphatase, amylase, pepsinogen, and prostaglandins are present. Secretion of prostate gland nourishes and activates the sperms to swim. Next gland is the bulbourethral gland. Here very small yellowish structure are shown, and these are the bulbourethral or Cowper's gland. They secrete alkaline fluid that neutralizes acids from the urine in the urethra. They also secrete mucus that lubricates the ends of the penis and lining of the urethra. Now, function of male reproductive system. First function is the spermatogenesis, means formation of sperms takes place inside the testes. Second function is the production of male sex hormones, that is testosterone is produced by the testes. And third function is the transfer of sperm, means transfer sperm into the female genital tract with the help of penis. Now, hormonal control of male reproductive system. GnRH is a gonadotropic releasing hormone. It is secreted by the hypothalamus. Gonadotropic releasing hormone stimulates the anterior lobe of pituitary gland to secrete LH or FSH. LH stimulates the interstitial cells or Leydig cells to secrete testosterone. FSH stimulates Sertoli cells to secrete an ABP that concentrate the testosterone in the seminiferous tubules. Sertoli cells also secrete inhibin, which suppresses the FSH synthesis. Here is a flow chart to understand the hormonal control of male reproductive system. First, hypothalamus, they release gonadotropin releasing hormone. It stimulates anterior pituitary gland to secrete LH, luteinizing hormone, or FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. LH stimulates the Leydig cells to release testosterone. Function of testosterone is it helps in the spermatogenesis and it controls the secondary sexual characters. Second hormone which is produced by the anterior pituitary is the FSH. It stimulates the Sertoli cells to release two substances or two proteins, ABP, androgen binding protein, and inhibin. ABP concentrates the testosterone in the seminiferous tubules, and that further helps in the development and maturation of sperm. And inhibin, it inhibits the synthesis of FSH by a feedback mechanism.